Hey, hey y'all. I just came on to do a rush video real quick. I just took a look at I've been watching my portfolio real close ever since like December of this year, of last year. And I already made a previous video talking about, I think this, the actual market is going up, even though everybody's putting out the narrative that it's actually going down. The reason why I'm cutting this actual video in a hurry or just, random is because I'm noticing that Bitcoin is on the rise. Y'all, man, look, I came in this market right as Bitcoin was going to its peak, which means that I suffered a lot. I bought at high prices, of course, because of the time that I came into the market. And then right after that, everything just plummeted. It went straight down, like boom, like all the way down. Like Bitcoin dropped down, I think like 50, as low as 15,000, maybe more. I was expecting Bitcoin to hit 20,000 and then start to move back up. But what I noticed is that Bitcoin was following the S&P, which was kind of weird to me. And then I also noticed that it didn't go down. It did go down past the 20, but it didn't make it to the 10. And I've been paying very close attention to both the crypto and stock market, both your mega cap, your penny stocks, pink slip stops, stuff like that. I've been really trying to pay close attention to the trend. I'm gonna show you a trend on my Fidelity account, which holds all my penny stocks. I'm gonna show you a trend on my stash account, which shows all my mega cap and my large cap. And more importantly, I'm gonna show you that Bitcoin is on the rise for the first time since like the last year. I'm literally blown away. Like I said, I expected it to wait a little longer, especially Bitcoin. I already knew the stocks and all have been doing their thing since December, but I didn't expect for Bitcoin to start moving. And I'm gonna go ahead and pause out of here real quick. I'm gonna pull out my stash just to start with stash to show you the Bitcoin. Okay, here we go. All right, right now I'm at $919.57, lost 13.45%, which is really good, being the time that I came in. But what I wanted to show you more importantly was what I was talking about with the Bitcoin. One moment. Here we go. All right, when I put that little bit of money there in Bitcoin right here on this portfolio, my effort is not to make money off of Bitcoin. My effort is to make money off anything under Bitcoin, like the altcoins and some of the longer lasting plays that are, a lot lower market cap wise. Bitcoin is not much room for growth because it's already, large is the way is my kind of like my perspective on it. Even if Bitcoin was to go to $100,000, that's still only a 10x. Whereas though if Bitcoin went to $100,000, I can assure you that its altcoins and all will go probably 1,000%, and that's the percent that I'm aiming for. So just to get that out the way. Now, if you can look at Bitcoin, it's up 30%. When I went into Bitcoin, it was at 0%, and today it went from 20% to 30%. That's like a 10% rise in one day. And I'm gonna show you the chart here. You can see here at the earlier part of the day it was at about 21, and it's gone up to almost 23. And we'll show you the position and show you the percentage of change. But they're not showing the percentage of change today. And Bitcoin. See something here. Oh, can't get it there. All right, so we would have to. You can calculate it, but you can see the rise. It just went straight parabolic. And what I believe this it can either be one of two things. It can be a fake rally, which I doubt, because if you look here, Bitcoin's been stable, trading sideways. If you look at the whole month, look at the whole year, you can see, it's been pretty much trading sideways ever since November 7th, never going over $20,000. So, and that's on November 7th. So since November 7th, Bitcoin's been trading sideways, but then literally in one day, you can see in one day it goes from 20, see its low point, 20, 0, 20, 20, 0. So the low point about 20.9, the high point being about 23. So, if you take 3 and divide it into 20, you'll get about a 1.7. 7 times 3 is about 20. So you'll get about 1 cent, about 15%. And in one day, this thing's grown more than 15%. Just earlier today, I looked at all day today. I've been looking at Bitcoin. I wish I would have did a video. All day today, my Bitcoin was sitting at 20%. It's been sitting there for the last 2 or 3 days. As you can see here, I look at the week chart. The week chart, you can see how it jumped at the beginning of the week. It was 19.93, 19.9. It's gone from 19.9 to 23. So, and that's in 1 week. As you can see, it traded sideways all week, and it didn't do anything until literally today. 2 days before my birthday, at exactly 2:59. As soon as I go upstairs, chill with my peoples, come back downstairs. I noticed when I was upstairs chilling with my people, we was talking, watching some videos, and then I look back at Bitcoin like, what the hell? This bitch just shot up like 20% in less than an hour. So literally from the time of 3 o'clock to the time of 5:30, it's shot up 15%, where it's gone now. It's also, what this means to me is that it's already met its bottom. You know, what this means to me is, if I was going to go into Bitcoin, which I really don't care about going into Bitcoin, if I was to go into Bitcoin, I would have hoped and had my 10 toes deep by now. But like I said a little earlier, I was expecting it to go down to 10, bottom out around 10. But as you can see, the lowest bottom was my original prediction, which was the 20, and it hovered around 20, maybe give or take, until it went down to about 19.9. So I guess originally my original prediction was 20, of course, and it hit 20. It bottomed out at 20. I made that prediction more than 6 months ago that Bitcoin would bottom out at 20, and then that'll be the best time to get your 10 toes deep. But then as time went by and the economy and all the other crap that was happening with inflation and, Jerome Powell and all putting out the heights and all, I thought that it would actually go down even lower, maybe beat that 10 that, that I had in mind, maybe bottom out around 10, maybe 15-ish. But obviously y'all can see it met all its points, for the last, ever since November, as you can see. And obviously now we're on the we're on the bull, y'all. So if anybody's not catching this video within the last 2 hours, then they're just as late as I was looking at this thing probably about 20 minutes ago. Here, I'm going to go ahead and put this video out as soon as possible. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this video out now, and I'm going to go ahead and while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and show you as well what I mean by the other side of the table, the other side of the spectrum, where my actual stocks is going parabolic. I'm so amazed. I was expecting the stocks not to recover until around 2024 or the end of 2023. But as you can see, I was down like $2,000 right there. That dollar change was about $2,000 at about maybe a 25% loss. And as you can see, just in a short period of time, you can see where I'm at now. And also, I'm going to show you specifically the growth on every last investment that I have. And I'm going to show you the difference of the growth between a growth just in the last month alone. While the whole narrative out there, if you're not doing your research, you just listen to social media and all, everybody's telling you, scaring the shit out of you. When I'm sitting here making these videos showing everybody that it's obviously not the truth, because while they're saying that something's happening one way, it's obviously not happening that way, because you're watching right here me not just meet my bottoms on just about, more than half of my portfolio, but me actually being 30% or higher in the month of January. And a lot of this, I'll show you, a lot of this growth has only been from December 27th. From December 27th up until January 20th, less than 30 days later, I'm looking at 30% growth on most of my assets. And I'm showing you right here. All right, so return percentage, you see Scott's Miracle Grow, 29%. See that? Global X Copper Miner, 29. Rod Blockchain. You see all my blockchains, number 1. My Rod Blockchain. Well, I got Rod Blockchain number 3, 4, 5, 6. Damn. I got 8 positions on this sheet right here. Just one page. 2, 4, 6, 8. My top 8 positions, out of my top 8 positions, 5 of my positions are block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 8. All just to give you an idea what block's doing. Then you got like your which I think will be the future. Your biosciences and stuff like that, connecting the human body with computers and shit. And you can see that's 20%. NASPER, they're in the global internet, 20%. UiPath, what they do is they go in and they literally take over the business, put robots in there, Get rid of the humans, which is what I put out a million videos about on my informational pages and all, about what they're, what these guys are trying to have done before 2030. MicroStrategy, you see me 15.89%. They make computer chips, which is obviously what I talk about a lot, connecting the human body with the computer. Taiwan Semiconductor, same thing, computer chips. Meta Platform, you know what it is, they Facebook. Spider Metals and Miners ETF, you know what that is. Metals and Miners speaks for itself. Our innovation is all the new innovative ideas. It's a lot about the technology that I speak about, and when I compare technology to spirit and the gift to man versus man trying to mimic the gift to man if the man's gifted, and trying to bring that through technology. I talk about that a lot. Let's see here. The next one is enthusiastic game holders. You already know what that is, like your EA Sports and all your social media. Well, they do social media too, but main thing is gaming is what they're focused on. Not just gaming, but streaming gaming. Then you got Invesco Solar, which is speak for itself. Solar Dillards, NAPCO Security, which is cybersecurity, which is something that we're running. Which is pretty much war. That's the new way of war, and what we're already going through. Then you got NVIDIA, which does everything. ASM Holdings, Arc Genomic. So Genomic. So you can see where my attention is being drawn when I put this portfolio together. It's all specifically in tech, period, for the most part. Tech, block, fintech, all that, pretty much. Which I believe is the future. And remember, this is a 10-year master plan. If you just look at the stocks here, you'll get an idea. You see exactly what I'm investing in. And you see everything's in the green. I'm literally this is a total of about 120 assets, not counting the crypto here. About 120 assets, and out of 120 assets, you're looking at more than 80% of my portfolio in the green. I expect this shit to go into the green until the end of this year. In other words, I need to go get money, and I need to get money fast. I need to retain all the money I can and just keep buying as soon as possible before this shit go parabolic, and it'll be too late to buy. But as you can see, I'm already 10 toes deep. You can see exactly what my invested amount is. If I stop right now, I'm Gucci. We've already done the calculations. I've already broke it all down in my previous video. You don't need me to tell you that just sitting where I'm sitting right now, which I'm sitting pretty. I got a lot done in 2 years. But sitting where I'm sitting, I'm Gucci if I sit this out for 10 years. And that means I don't even have to pay attention to this shit no more from this point on. I did 10 years of hard work investing, sometimes spending 10, 12 hours at this table, busting my ass. I put a lot of videos. I got seven Facebook channels. I got 4 YouTube channels. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Snapchat. I'm on TikTok. Channels on all these mediums. YouTube, you name it. I've been doing this for the last 2 years, ever since my mom died. And I've been putting in way more than 40 hours a week in some weeks. And I'm to a point now where I can say literally 2 years later, I can literally retire. And this is the proof. That's it, y'all. See you next time. I'll go ahead and keep recording my growth from this point and anything that I cost-based average in from this point. But pretty much with the way this market move, I'm already up 30%. There's, to be totally technical, if I was to anything I put in now, especially on some of my assets, I would just be putting in at a 30% loss because I've already gained 30% on it already. And now a lot of these prices are so low that even if I still bought at 30%, I still have a good chance of reaching my end goal. But I don't want to get my cost-based average too high. I got some strong cost-based points. With me buying these stocks at the lowest possible, following them, researching, following, and striking them at my most perfect time to get them at an absolute low rock bottom price, so that after that, all I got to do is ride the wave. And I'll go through each one of these cost bases. You can see that a lot of these stocks I can't invest in no more, because if I buy, I'll be buying at a 30% profit already, and that's only going to screw my numbers up. So the only thing I'm focused on now is anything that I have a loss, which is, as you can see here, I'll go from the end, return percent, and I'll do it opposite so you can see all my losses. I'm going to put it on pause for a second. Now, as you can see here, the absolute lowest loss that I am at now on any of my 120 plays. This is 120 plays I'm choosing. There's a lot that can go wrong. My worst play is EV Go, which we all know is a blow up. But these are the guys that suffered the most with all this bull crap that's going on that has nothing to do with none of these companies in this market right now. I need to make that clear. But 32% loss is my largest loss. And as you can see, my largest loss, I just got one loss at 32%. I appreciate it. Thank you. And the other loss starts at 29% to 20%, and that's only over what? Less than 10 assets. So less than 10 assets, I'm at a loss of 20%. Right now, speaking right now specifically, less than 10 assets. Here they go, Roblox. And you know all of these are going to blow up. You don't need me to tell you. Roblox, Procept, CrowdStrike Holding, global stuff. ETF, Art, you already know what it is with that. Grow, that should work, your marijuana, your weed. Look at this. Where we at? Okay. Grow. Okay, grow generations. CRISPR. We already know what CRISPR's going to do. Government, all of them locked in. Golden, Dextron, Moonshot Innovators, ChargePoint Holders, Artez, Nicola, EVgo. Every last one of my assets at no more than a 20% loss while the market is moving up in January, by January 20th, 2 days before my birthday. 2 years later, I got less than 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 assets under 20%. In this market, this is what we suffered. I bet you my life you cannot find a portfolio out there that looks this good unless the people start investing in this last year and they didn't invest before. That's the only way a portfolio could be this, only at a 15% loss. With only 13 assets out of more than 120 assets suffering more than a 20% loss. While everything just turned around. Everything just pivoted. What I'm also going to do is, if you don't believe me that everything's pivoting, I found one very intelligent guy out there that says he has proof that everything is pivoting. God knows, I swear to God, I just watched this video today. Something told me to share that video and put it on my Facebook so that would have been a good reference, but I didn't. But because I watched it today, and not even 4 or 5 hours ago, I watched this video of the only guy I ever found that's saying what I'm saying online. This guy goes into detail and proves everything he says much better than I can. And I just so happened to see that video today, and it blew my mind because yesterday, as you know, and going into this morning, we were going into a bear market. Things were going down. And I was thinking, well, maybe I can sell a little bit off the top. And if it goes down bear like what I'm thinking it might do, then I can go ahead and buy at the low again. But I was like, no, I'm not going to touch nothing. I'm going to sit tight. Come back at the market like 3 o'clock p.m. or 12 o'clock, between 12 and like 2. And I'm like, what the fuck? Everything's going up again. So I'm like, okay, we Gucci then. And then next thing you know, I watched the video. Now, this is the video I watch. I'm going to put you on pause so I can get up out of here. And I'm going to go find, I'm going to unpause the video here once I get into YouTube. And once I get into YouTube, I'm going to go through my history so you'll see exactly which time I watched this video. And it just so happened to be given to me today. Watch this, and you'll be blown away by this video. I'm going to record the whole video. I don't give a hell if they try to catch me on infringement or anything, but I'm going to put that video inside this video so they can't catch me on infringement, as far as what I know of law-wise. Here we go. All right, y'all. As you can see, we're on my YouTube channel, Willie Horn, Best Life, Self, Wealth, Health, Truth, at Sensi Energy. You see my mom. This is a picture of my mom, that picture there. You see my other 3 YouTube channels right here. Willie C. Horn equals Sensi Energy, and then Willie Horn 100X My Crypto, which is me specifically talking about crypto and stocks and investments and all. One page talk about best life, self, wealth, health, truth. Other page talk about Willie Horn Sensi and my energy that God gave me. The other page talks about Willie Horn 100X My Crypto. You let me know if you find anybody on YouTube telling you they're going to 100X anything. It's astronomical, all right? So I make astronomical predictions that end up coming true, and we'll see if I make this astronomical prediction that'll come true. You don't need me to tell you if I can 100X my crypto, I'll be breaking records. Everybody be looking at me like I'm the stock guru in 5 years, but we'll see how close I get. So here we go. I'm gonna go into the page now. I'm gonna go into my Best Life page, which is where I was actually watching my videos off of just earlier while I was going into the page and doing some, work on maintenance in the page and making the page look better and more presentable to the public. Now, mind you, I got 3 other pages I gotta do this shit too. Not to mention all 7 Facebook channels. And anybody who knows me know I'm not lying. I'm literally putting out information. You look at my posts, I got 7 different posters going to 7 different of my channels with my face on them. And they're all channels that have more than 100 subscribers, some more than 1,000 subscribers. So I'm putting out information all day. I'm literally at this table putting out information. If not putting out information, I'm studying. If I'm not studying, I'm learning. If I'm not learning, I'm fucking investing. Like literally. Period. This is what I do. This is what I've been doing for the last 2 years. My life wasn't like that 2 years ago. I sold perks and sold drugs and shit, and maybe got a shot to work at somebody's job for a couple hours or something, carrying some thrift store stuff. Like literally, that was my opportunity for the last 5 years. Period. Until my mom died December 2020, inspired me by January 1st, literally by January, before my birthday, I was investing after my mom died in 2020 in December. By January, I swear to God, I was investing. All inspired by my mom, which is the picture that you see here, Best Life, my first channel that I started. You can see here, I started this channel in January. That's when I started this channel. Everything that I've earned was January. On this channel, everything I've done on all my channels, everything that I started has been started since January, since the inspiration of my mom. All recorded, proof. Here we go. Here's the videos. You can see all the videos, all right? You see me watching my homeboy here. I ain't call him my homeboy, but this guy's super intelligent. So I pay attention a lot to him and watch a lot of his movies. He only got 8 plays in his portfolio. You obviously see that, and I just came across this guy probably about a month ago, but out of all my speakers, I think he's probably one of the most detailed guys who really does some real hardcore investigation, you feel me, and research. And he has good basis behind his thought on the plays that he picked, which is the reason why I watch him. You can see I watched 3 of his videos, right? But that's not the guy I wanted to talk to you about. You can see I watched the video. I'm gonna read the titles. If I can, the activist investing in saving Disney. All right, the activist investing in saving Disney. My tech portfolio for 2023, which is 8 portfolios he has. 8 stocks he has. Inflation hell to prove Michael Burr. Okay, and then what is the deal with Bohemian Grove? All right, so this is my history. Now, you can see I'm looking at why America can't afford America, where they move. You can see that. So, I'm not lying. Thai women are amazing. Eating bugs in Thailand. Why I moved to Thailand. So, you can see exactly what I've been doing. World of Ani. All this is by that Ani guy talking about Thailand. This guy just jumped up and moved to Thailand. All right? So, this is my history. Now, I'm going to go ahead. You can see, look, they are watching us. What is happening on Death Island, suppressing the cure. All this is my history. I'm going back to try to find this dude that talked about why he thinks the Fed is ready to pivot. Oh, give me 1 second. My nephew's texting me. Here you go. Text him back. Get him out the way real quick. And I'm going to go ahead into the channel. I'm going to go ahead and back into my channel. And I'm going to go back to my library, my history. And I'm going to go ahead and view all my history. See if I can find it right in my line here. And for some odd reason, they're not recording all my history because I watched way more videos than this. And the videos that they had me down here for were not in order for whatever reason. Yeah, they're not. All right, so here it is. There's the guy right there. You see it? I watched this video today, as you can see. Something serious going on in America. I watched that earlier, Safeway. I even put out a post. You can even go on my Facebook and see that I'm not lying. That these are the videos that I watched today. All right. I'm going to show you all the way back to the first video. Okay, here's a post that I put up today. It talks about the Stokes. The adults are talking. It's an audio. The reason why I put that video up today on my Facebook is because my best friend, who's a millionaire friend of mine who lives in Mexico, has did a piece on this Basquiat drawing where he's spiritually breaking down what this Basquiat drawing means. He has spiritual gifts as well. So the reason why I chose this Basquiat song is because this song that has Basquiat as his only picture on his song, and the song got 49 million views, is because this person singing this song knows what me and my man knows. And the only way this person singing this song could know that is if he's gifted. If he's able to read Basquiat art. I can't even read Basquiat's art. Only Tanner can read Basquiat's art. I don't have that gift. I have the gift of sight, but my gift is not with art. Tanner has the gift of sight to read Basquiat's art, and that's what he does on his page, on his channels all day. That's what he does. And he has way more followers than I do. And he's saying some crazy shit and proving it. That's what we do, astronomical. Prove this place is fucked up and fake and ain't real. That's what we do, and that's what astronomical is. All right, so here it is. You can see I put that video out today. This got 49 million views. All right, these are all the videos I watched since then. I'm going up, and we're going to go to the video that I want you to listen to. It's only 14 minutes and 6 seconds. I want you to catch this guy. This guy is saying some shit that nobody else is saying, which reassured me that, okay, I'm Gucci. I'm Gucci. And then to come right back 2-3 hours later and then watch it actually happen in real time where everybody else is being told a different narrative. If there's anybody paying attention to me out there, those will be the people that'll have the 10 toes deep as a head start. Because you got big shots right now, institutions that are not even buying right now because of the narrative that's being put out there and them not doing their proper research or paying attention, I guess. But here it is.
Breaking news tells us the Fed pivot is here, and you better do this right now. Now, the Fed just got the green light it needs to turn back on the money printer, and it's happening right now, so you better get ready. Now, while all eyes have been on the Federal Reserve and Jerome Powell to understand what comes next for our money, our purchasing power, our retirement accounts, our home values, and every other investment and asset we own, it was another government decision that changed the rules and gives the Fed the political cover they another government decision that changed the rules and gives the Fed the political cover they need to stop the monetary tightening stance and go back into an easy money policy. Yes, the long anticipated Fed pivot is right around the corner, and I'm taking action, and you might want to also. So in this video, I'm going to explain the rule change that was just made that gives the Fed the political cover it needs to go back into easing. Yes, a pivot. I'm going to explain exactly what this rule change is, what effects it should have on the markets, how we can watch it for confirmation, what the outlook and the projections are for the rest of this year, and what I've already started doing and will do more of, and you might also want to do. So don't miss this one. Let's go. All right, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, my name is Mark Moss, and I make these videos to change the way you think about money, because if you're not getting the right data, you're not making the right decisions. And there's some new data that just came out that it blew me away. I've been talking about it all the time. I could not wait to make a YouTube video on this and show you it's that big. It's that big. So let's go ahead and just jump right into what we're talking about. This is what everybody has been waiting for. Everyone's been waiting for. All right. So the Fed's commitment, Jerome Powell. Look,
the only guy out here saying it.
I believe him.
You can type in what he's
I believe that he believes what he's saying, but things change. So he said that we're not thinking about raising rates in 2020. Then they lowered rates. He said we won't raise rates for 4 years. In 2 years, he started raising rates. Now, recently, he said that we're not thinking about lowering rates. We're going to keep rates very high for a long time.
Now, mind you, I ain't know
and I believe that he believes that. But things change. He said that we are committed to it. Powell said we're committed to it. What's it? Bringing inflation, CPI, back down. That's what they're committed to. All right. He said that we will crush demand and it won't be favorable. So we're going to make everybody broke. We want unemployment to go up. We want your wages to come down. We want your retirement and your house to come down. It won't be favorable, but we'll crush the demand, which will bring CPI down. All right. Now,
my background
is to do that. Now, he said they're committed to it. They'll do it if they have to. But what if they don't have to? And what if they've already achieved it? Now, what we know is that the latest CPI reading went from, we're up at 9.1 at a peak, all the way down to now 6.5. So they're already getting this meaningful disinflation that they need.
And I did it with product knowledge.
Maybe they have gone far enough. And wait until you see what just happened. All right. Just change the rules. Now look, some of my favorite economists and analysts. One of my favorites is Harry Dent. I've had him on my channel twice, I believe. The comments are like, oh, Harry Dent, he's always wrong. He's a quack. He doesn't know what he's talking about. No. Harry Dent is a brilliant analyst. And he's right. All his data is right. The problem that he has is that he doesn't see all the tricks and manipulations that the Fed can do. Same with Peter Schiff, same with David Hunter, and a bunch of other analysts. They're right on the data, but we just can't continue to imagine all these tricks the Feds will play. How they just change the rules. And there's another change that the Fed just made that we're going to break down. So if you can't beat them, lie to them. If I can't change reality, I'll just gaslight them. I'll just lie to them. And so we have to understand that the CPI, the way they measure CPI, the Consumer Price Index, changes. And as a matter of fact, it changes all the time. There's been lots of changes since 1980. For example, inflation doesn't include house prices anymore. House prices have gone up for so long, but in 1983, the government switched from using home prices to using rental prices. So that was 1983. They constantly change this to get the CPI number to be not the truthful number that you and I believe it should be, but whatever they want it to be. This is a good one. Economists swap expensive products for cheaper ones. So they used to collect a basket of items, steak, milk, butter, cheese, and then they would track that same basket throughout time. But they don't do that anymore. Now they take a basket of items that you simply tracked, but they begin to update the basket more regularly about 20 years ago. So now, you know what, instead of steak, let's just put hamburger meat. Right? Instead of milk, nobody drinks milk anymore, let's put water. And so they're starting to do these substitutes. And so these are just a couple of ways that they start to manipulate the data. All right? And the CPI number, this is where they're going to get you. There's another rule change that just went in, and it's going into effect right away. And this is going to change everything. And it's hard to overstate how big this change is. This is the green light for the proverbial pivot that everybody's been waiting for, and I believe risk assets are already showing us that. Okay, what am I talking about? Well, the government has decided to change the CPI calculations again. Now, to be clear, it's not the Fed that does this, it's the BLS, the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And here's a screenshot directly from their website showing you what this is. The Consumer Price Index, January 2023 CPI weight update. All right, so this is breaking news. You're hearing it right here first. The BLS plans to update weights annually. Okay, it's a big deal. Annually for the Consumer Price Index based on a single calendar year. I'm going to show you what that means. On a single calendar year of data using consumer expenditure data from 2021.
Bullshit, see?
You know, I wouldn't overestimate my role at Palantir. I wouldn't underestimate it. Bringing societally relevant things like PG ended up dominating
data from 2021.
Look at that.
Most people don't know what that means. But it's big. So let me break that down and show you what I'm talking about. All right, so what happens is they want to step up the year-over-year comparisons. Now what we can see is that before the comparables were 2 years. So what they would do is they would look at 19 and 20 and they would compare, they would put those together. And what we can see is if we look at the US CPI 2019 to present, we can see it was pretty flat, right? And then here in 2021, it shot up like crazy. It hit a peak of 9.1 here, was it about February of 2022? And it's been slowly coming back down. But you have to understand, they measure inflation year over year. So if they're measuring it from here, you're going to get a lot different reading than you would if you get it from here, right? So let me show you what I'm talking about. If we take the comp, so the old methodology versus the new methodology, this is from Luke Grauman. I got this chart from Luke Grauman. I'll put a link down to his stuff down in the description if you want to check it out. But we can see here is the US CPI comps. The old methodology is the red line. And then, the new methodology, and the old methodology is the blue line. So this blue line is the 2 year of comps when they average them together. And what you can see is the blue line moves sort of like the red line, except for right here. It's a little bit more mellow. And the red line is the new methodology, and it goes up way higher. So it shows a much higher reading. Why would they want to have a higher reading than a lower reading? Because they measure CPI year over year. And so are they measuring from this point? Are they measuring from this point? If prices are here now, what's a bigger gap? The old one or the new one? See, it's a trickery. Now, what does that mean? That means if nothing else changes, let's say that they don't do anything to bring inflation down. Let's say that the prices stay exactly the same. If nothing else changes, CPI is going to fall. That's what it means. Remember, they've been committed to getting CPI numbers down. And now they don't have to do anything. Everything can stay exactly the same and CPI will fall. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means that it gives the Fed the cover that it needs to pause and then start cutting rates and pumping back up. This gives the Fed all the room, all the political cover to pause and even to pivot because they were committed to they got the job done. Congratulations, Fed, you got the job done. All you gotta do is just change the calculations. All right, now let me show you exactly what this means. But before, like I said, again, this is hard to overstate how big this change is for a couple of reasons. I'm gonna break them down. One, what does this mean for the Fed? But two, what does it mean for us? Not just our investments, but for our consumer goods that we have to buy. Like I said, this is very, very big news. So,
big news.
What happens? Well, what we're going to see is that the March CPI data should start falling very, very sharply. Like I said, it's already started falling very, very sharply. I think in March it starts to fall. By May, it should fall by 2 to 3%, and by December it could fall by as much as 3%. Remember, we're measuring off of the old number. So all we have to do is see what the old number was and assume that it stays the same, and we can figure out, we can chart or project where that rate will be. And what we can see is that it starts falling really fast. Here's January.
People who are buying in December.
Here's March. And here is basically December right here.
I got a 23-day job.
We're at minus 3%. This is how fast CPI can change starting this month. So by March of this year, by the end of Q1, we'll see CPI coming down by as much as 3%. So if we're at 6.5% right now, without doing anything else, we bring it down to 3.5%. Now, given the trajectory, CPI is already coming way down. We were at 9, now we're at 6. Let's say that by March we're at 4.5.
So that means
now we might actually have, with a new blended number, we might be at 1.5 or 2%. Exactly what the Fed wanted. Now, if we get down to 1.5, what does that mean? That means we have deflation, and the Fed we have to print, we have to pump the markets back up. This is what this means. It gives them all the cover to do what they need, even if nothing else changes. Now, this is a big lie. Okay, it's all a big lie. It's always a big lie. All right, changing the calculations, the way they measure CPI, doesn't change inflation. It doesn't change how much it costs to put gas in your truck or how much it costs to buy groceries at the store. It doesn't change any of that. It's all a lie. Now, if we take actual CPI calculation today, it would still be 5 or 6%. But with the changes, they're going to say, no, it's not 6%, it's 3%. It doesn't affect you or I, but it gives them the cover. What we can see is that the Fed, with the Fed pivot, when they push this back up, it could push rates to 10% or more. Consumer price inflation of 10% or more. And it's not that hard to understand. As a matter of fact, Shadow Stats is a company that tracks the CPI numbers the way it was originally done back in the 80s. And if you go back to the way they calculated it in 1988, inflation today is actually 15.6%, not the 6.5%. And so this will only continue. They'll continue to tell you inflation is lower than it is, just like they've always done before. So it doesn't make things better for you, doesn't make things cheaper for you, but it gives them the cover they need to pump things back up. Okay, so a soft landing. Here we got Jerome Powell making it rain, right? We have the Fed whisper telling us that they're pausing. They're going to lower the rate expectations from 75 to 50 now to 25 basis points. With this change, it's already done. I showed you the screenshot from the BLS website. With this change, and we already know where it's going because we can see where they're measuring the year-over-year inflation from. We're expecting inflation to drop by 2 to 3%.
Went through one.
It's a big deal. Cut it in half. Now with that allows the Fed to start pumping the markets back up. And so they got creative, they changed the rules, and now we're going to expect to see CPI and rates fall, which means they can start pumping out money. Now, game on. Everybody's been waiting for the Fed pivot, right? if the Fed pivots, it's time to start buying again.
Saying that stimulus
right? And you can see Bitcoin has already pumped, I think it's up 20, 30% at the time of this recording. Some of the Bitcoin miners like Mars up 150%. We can see gold pumping. We can see commodities pumping. Some of the gold miners that I've been talking about and following are up 100, 150% as well. Other commodities are doing really well as well. So if this is true, which I showed you the screenshot of the BLS,
it's true.
Then the Fed has the cover they need to start pumping money back in the markets no later than by the end of Q1, and these assets are already sniffing it out. So I'm putting money back into markets. I'm putting money back to work. What are you going to do? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you see this? Does this give the Fed the cover? Are they now pivoting officially? Or no? Is it a fake out? Let me know in the comments down below. Of course, as always, give me a thumbs up on this video if you like it. If you don't, you can give me a thumbs down. That's okay. But at least tell me why.
Even if it's a rally, I can
hit that like and that subscribe button while you're at it, and that's what I got. To your success.
And it'll go right back up after that. Okay, y'all, I'm back. So you seen the video. I mean, you see the guy call him a big lie and everything. I mean, he go in. He ain't hold no cut cards. Pretty much saying the same thing I've been saying. The last video that I put out a couple of days ago is proof. Exactly what I'm saying, man. I can show you on each one of my top tier assets. I can show you how December 27th is the specific date that it turned around, and it's been on an uptrend since then. Even if it is a fake rally, it's all about time. How long could the process be? So, for example, let's say it's a fake rally that lasts for about a month. I can almost guarantee that there's only 3 months in a quarter. So by March, I can guarantee once more revenue numbers and all being put out, and once even if they do go ahead and hit us with another 0.25% increase or whatever, it's not going to affect the market no more than 10. Overall, the S&P is not going to be affected no more than 10%. I can guarantee. I bet my life on it. And then after that, you're just going to get uptrend. I predicted more than a year ago probably about a year ago, that Bitcoin would move before the S&P. I also said what I noticed is that Bitcoin was moving with the S&P, which was a little weird. But I'm going to go ahead and stick with my original prediction, and that is that Bitcoin is definitely going to start moving. And I mean, once this starts moving, you'll never get it at $20,000 ever again. You'll be lucky to be able to get it at $100,000 before you figure out what the hell just happened. But if you just look around and do your research and homework, you can see that Bitcoin's obviously already adapted. And I'm not just talking about in America, I'm talking about worldwide. Like, you got Bitcoin banks. I pulled up my GPS yesterday, and there's a Bitcoin bank. And I'm sitting there like, huh? Already? You feel me? So for any of the people who are, a little on the discrepancy side or whatever on Bitcoin, well, that's not even the question. If they've already got Bitcoin banks, then you don't need me to tell you if Bitcoin's here to stay or not. So it is what it is. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back into my stash. I'll put the video on pause, go back into my stash, say a few other things, and I'll go and close the video off because it's been more than an hour, or about an hour. About 45 minutes. So, one moment. I'm back. Just to skim through here, 1 second. All right. As you can see here, Apple is my top holding. To be honest with you, I don't even think Apple's going to do as good, but, some of our other ones. But the reason why I chose Apple, because they're about the most stable. You'll never lose with Apple. It's probably the number one company in the world. I mean, the United States, to be honest with you. As far as just overall, probably the best company in the market right now, to be honest with you. That's why I got them number one. Like I said, this is a 10-year thing, so they'll grow slower than a lot of these other picks, but they're my number one because they're the most stable, the most strongest. Nvidia, very strong, very stable. At least I'm predicting them to be. Alt Alliance, that used to be your BitNile holdings, and not many people know that. Not many people have been keeping up with them, but the big wigs, these are the big wigs right here. And obviously, you don't need me to tell you, at 14 cents a share, and it being on the New York Stock Exchange, that is illegal. I mean, they're supposed to be gone a long time ago. They're not even supposed to be on the stock exchange anymore. But because it's the big wigs that own these guys, I'm assuming that's the reason why they're still around. Because the cutoff is, I believe, $1, between $1 and $2. And they've been under 14 cents ever since. I mean, they've been under $1 ever since, the beginning of the year, February, beginning of last year. So it's been more than a year. They've been trading under $1 for the whole year, but they're still on the stock exchange. That's a little weird. But They must be very powerful. That's all I got to say about that. I'll leave that alone. But anyway, you can see NVIDIA, Alt. Alt is my third holding, which is BitNow Holdings, pretty much. Just changed the name to Alt Alliance. You got Tesla, Block, Pacific Biosciences, Riot Blockchain, Microsoft, Marathon, and all that Gucci stuff. And this is listed by, I believe, Amount Invested. I'm going to list it by, percent of portfolio. Do it again. So it was done already by that. I'm doing the reverse. So here we go. Then I'll do, instead of that, return percent. All right. So this, not return percent. We already looked at that. Amount invested. I apologize. So here we go. Amount invested. So this is everything listed by the amount that I've invested. 89, 76, 75, 73, so on and so forth. My effort was to get to 100 on the amount invested. So I'm only $10 off. So I'm Gucci. I'll get that $10 in there before that, stock goes anything, because my Apple's only at 1.2%. So I'll get that right where I wanted to, and I'll get it under that 1.2%. I'll get it at less than what I paid for it before I get to that, $10 more strike. I'm very particular about striking at certain points. I'm trying to be anyway, a lot more than I was at first. But you can see NVIDIA, you can see Tesla, you see everything. These are my top plays, Roku. Trying to get Adobe up. I want to get them up really bad. I want to get, waiting for good strike points. I'm already at a 6% gain. Just had them at a loss. I should have struck them then, but I was thinking they were going to drop down a little lower. Didn't strike them then. I come back the next day, and they climbed 6% damn near in one day. So I'm just waiting for a bad day to strike them. And that's one of my premieres. That Adobe, when I get finished with Adobe's going to be up there between Apple and NVIDIA. Hold one moment. And you can see Global Star. Nobody really knows about them. You'll notice that a lot of my plays here that are in my top plays, they're either long-term guaranteed, long-term, long runs with high growth potential, or they're, some of the new innovative plays. But at the same time, I focused on making sure the actual price per share was very low, so that I have a long room for growth. So you see that was 14 cents. They're up in my top 3, top 4. Marathon Patent Group, they're only at $8. Amazon, we already know they're about 100. Plug Power, they're about, I believe, 15. Okay, got them pretty low, 15 per share. Matterport, big. Get them at $3, lower than $3. My position on them is $2.99. They're at $3.06. But you see, they're all low prices per share, which means I have much room for growth. And then Pacific Biosciences, again, $11.29. If that thing went to $100 over 10 years, you don't need me to tell you that's $100,000 just for $100. Block, that's pretty high, but they're going to be one of those companies that's literally going for more than $1,500 a share. The highest they've gone is almost $300 a share. They're down to $76 a share. So even if they get back at their normal, I'm 400% up. That can happen in 1 year, literally. So then you see Riot Blockchain. You notice I got a lot of blocks. 7% in 1 day. That's like me going out here in the street, get somebody $1,000 and they give me $100 back for it damn near, or give me 70 for it in 1 day. Let's see, Roku, that's going to be one of my premieres, 4.9% in 1 day. This is a day that I thought was going to be a bad day for all of these. Remember, originally when I checked out the market earlier this morning, everything was doing bad, and then it just reversed and went straight up. Alphabet, which is Google, 5.3% in 1 day. This is what, if you didn't strike this yesterday, you lost 5% growth. Because in 1 day, it's gone 5%. This is what's going on. While everybody's putting out a bunch of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, you get a guy like me, and you get that other guy that I recorded on the same video here, telling you that something's not right. Somebody's lying, and my portfolio is showing me that somebody's lying. And if I were to listen to y'all, then I would just be losing money because these stocks are growing. As you can see, some of mine are at 30%. Most of mine are at 30 or 20% gains. So I can't buy no more into them unless I want to send my price per average share up. And I don't want to do that. I want to keep my price per average share low as I possibly can. So over long term, it'll show that growth rate. and their growth rate would be expanded over just something minimum as simply $100. And that's what's important, getting that cost, that cost per share point very, very low, and then having that zero add on to that cost per share point over 10 years, hopefully over the stretch of the 10 years, so it can exponentially grow as opposed to it growing over the course of 2 or 3 years and not exponentially growing as much. And that's the magic in mathematics. That's all it is. And good timing, which is something, 2 conditions that I have nothing to do with. Hey, they're conditions. I just use them as tools. You got Artez gene editing company. It goes right into all the cyborg shit I talked to you about, humans being connected to computers and all. Understanding gene therapy, like literally them breaking down the genetic code and using gene sequences and shit. And how that has to do with health and, making cure man of all diseases. In less than 100 years, there'll be no such thing disease because of this company. Literally, companies like this who can literally break down the gene in any item and do whatever the hell they want with it, defeat any cancer, defeat anything your family ever had a problem with. These guys are working towards fixing. So, and that's the future, unfortunately. Not mentioned when you talk about security, military, us putting, making man superhuman before sending them into war and stuff like that. Yeah, that all falls into gene and genetic sequencing. PayPal, of course, that's your new fintech, which is also crossover from your old payment with Web 2. These guys are going to be one of the premier players when it comes to Web 3. We talk about Web 3, the metaverse and everything, being augmented and virtual reality. And they're a good, strong play for them. You got Fortnite. And notice I'm reading through these guys and I'm giving you a synopsis of each one of these companies. I have more than 120 assets off the top of my head with bad memory, previous coma for 6 weeks in my life with bad memory as my nemesis, but I'm still able to give you a synopsis on all these companies. And anybody out there doing this and working as hard as I did for the last 2 years, I suspect that they will end up to that point as well. They don't have to be distracted by all the bull crap that doesn't matter. The only thing that does matter is, are these companies profitable? Are they retaining their profits, meaning not giving away to share buybacks and crap like that? Are they retaining their profit, meaning their cash flow? Those 2 things are important. And then the other most important factor, which is my 3 points of factor, because everything's 3 with me. But my 3 points of factor, my third one being history. It's so amazing how there's so many billions of people on this planet, but they don't realize that in order to tell the future, one of the best ways to tell tomorrow is through your history. And why? Because history repeats itself. Why? Because motherfuckers' motivation remains the same. I made that up. That's my quote. Years ago, I made it up. History is going to repeat itself. Why? Because as long as money is a motivator, and as long as motherfuckers are motivated by money, then history can be maneuvered to repeat itself over and over again. The motivation is money. Just like you can figure out how a person died or some shit and start with the motivation. You feel me? Next thing you know, you're down to 10 suspects out of billions of people. And then you find out, the reason why he died is because that motherfucker had insurance policy out of him. Well, it wasn't too hard to figure out. You feel me? So, yeah. In history tells it all. When an investigator walks into that scene of that crime, he needs to start from the history. The furthest point in history is where that person actually died, right there in that spot. The first thing he's going to do is analyze that spot. And he's going to try to come back from the death to before the death happened and who committed that crime. He's starting from the end and coming back to the beginning. It's the reason why I start reading books from the end to the beginning. Like literally, I'll read the last chapter first and know what the whole damn book is about. I'll go to your advertisement. I'll start at the bottom part of your advertisement, and by the time I read that last paragraph of your advertisement, I know everything of your intent through the advertisement. I know if I want to take my time to read that whole page or not. So history is a motherfucker. And once you learn that, you'll learn how to do things backwards, which is what investigators only make $60,000 a year to do, and they have to do the astronomical every day. And I don't give a hell about cops, can't stand cops or investigators or nothing like that. But at the same time, I got to give those guys praise. His job is to go in there every week and he got to go watch a person dead and figure out who killed that person. And the only thing he could do is use history. Big shots. So there you go. 1 second. All right, y'all. I swear, everybody knows since I've been following me for the last 2 years, every last investment, every last asset that I have, 20 different assets just in one portfolio, I have Fidelity, I have Crypto.com, I have Coinbase.com, and I have Webull. That's a total of 5 different portfolios I have. All I'm talking about is one. So just talking about these stocks on this one portfolio. When I originally started this channel, everybody knew that my aim specifically before I learned anything about the market was simply history. That was my only approach to this. I knew nothing of it. But the one thing I did know is that I'm a very intelligent person, and I've practiced to be that all my life. And one thing I've learned out of life throughout all things that really matters, and that is history. Especially if it's not lied or lied about, or being told by the wrong person, or the victor, or the person who had victory. If the truth is actually being told, then history is one of the strongest tools that you have here. And another example that I use on a daily basis with people I know, and if anybody ever known me personally, they've heard me say this before, and very specifically said, and that's this. 1, 2, 3. Or I made a mistake and did 4. 1, 2, 3. All right? That is the only thing that matters. The only thing that matters is specifically that split second of present that I just knocked 3 times, and then everything before then, which is history. The future is inevitable. The future is a variable of possibilities of free will, and it can be changed or maneuvered at any given moment. The minute you, let's say, apologize and don't lie and change your direction, the future can be changed. So your future is a bunch of possibilities, which is totally irrelevant. It's like an algorithm that haven't been fully written yet. Period. And if anybody out there disagree with me, I love to hear you in the comment section. I love to debate with you. Now, the only thing that matters is history. If you pay attention to your life, everything is based off memories. That's the spell. That's the curse. That's the punishment. It's all memories. Tomorrow hasn't got here, and tomorrow can be maneuvered based on your free will possibility. And the present only lasts for a split second before it turns into the past. So in other words, there's only 3 parts to the equation: future, mid, and past. And out of all 3, out of the 2, doesn't even matter. The only thing that's left is history. What are you going to do? Study the present? The present's only here for a split second, dummy. You can only study the history. So once you get to a conclusion of studying history, you'll find that you can use history to handle just about anything. You can go do the history on macroeconomics in, let's say, America, and figure out all trends in America as far as economics, and know when you want to, let's say, jump in the market or not. And if you would have done that, you don't need me to tell you or anybody else to tell you that right now is the best time to jump in the market, which goes back to a condition. The condition is I have no control over this. This has nothing to do with how intelligent I am or anything. This has more to do with it being history. It being a time that we'll look back at and say, hey, this was a time where these assets were at their lowest. The only other time these assets were at their lowest was back, let's say, in the 2008 real estate crisis, the loan bubble that they did when they wrote all fucking loans and flooded the economy with money. And then you watch America do the same thing during this pandemic from 2019 up until now. Flood the economy with more money than is done in 100 years combined. Now, if that's not enough to tell you right now is the time to be jumping in the stock market, then I don't know what it is if you have any bit of intelligence. So it has nothing to do with me. It has more to do with a spirit telling me that right now is the time to be doing this, which is something that I've never done in my entire life. And it just so happened to happen a good timing for me because the month before my mom died. Literally. And that prompted me to do something. The reason why I prompted is because, personally speaking, I have home situations a lot. A lot of times I can find myself homeless. And so when my mom died, my mom communicated with me. She said to me, she said, for you and your brother, my biggest concern is y'all being able to take care of yourself. I made a promise to my mom that if I ever made it, my brother ain't got to worry about shit. He ain't going to have to worry about eat, sleep, or anything like that because he know his big brother going to take care of him. That's my pledge to my mom. And from that point on, I made a decision that I can't control whether I have a job tomorrow or today. I can get fired at any given moment. I don't kiss ass, so I can get fired. I'm not kissing nobody's ass. I'll go to the street before I kiss ass. I'll go out there with no job before I kiss ass. And that knowing about myself, that means that I had better have some money to be able to take care of myself. I've been out there a lot with no food, freezing my balls off right after giving all my food away. Don't have no food for myself, no drink or nothing. And one thing I made a promise to myself is that I would learn another way to master money without having to rely on working for some cracker that can fire me at any given moment. And unfortunately, to say it that way, what I mean by cracker is somebody who's literally whipping you across the back while you're at work. Like they know you just bought the car, they know you just bought the home, and they're disrespecting you, taking it right under, they playing limbo with your ass because they know you just got all this responsibility and you need their job. Before I put myself in that position, I'd rather learn net worth. Never mind net income. Never mind rate per hour. Never mind me slaving myself to 40 hours a week. If I'm going to slave myself, I'm going to slave myself to invest in myself, my brand name, everything that I am. So not only did I start investing, but I started, seven different Facebook channels, 4 different YouTube channels. So it's not that I'm just investing. I spend a lot of time at this table putting out all the information that I've learned and also investing in other streams of revenue, me being self-employed. Aside from that, what I've also acquired is a position where I can sell phones or tablets whenever I want to create even more revenue and at the same time not be owned because I'm self-employed. One thing I'm trying to do this year that I didn't do any other previous year is master money unconventionally. The different way that I've been doing it all my life. All my life I've been known selling drugs, getting jobs and stuff like that at the same damn time. So that's all I've ever known. For the first time in life, I'm learning something different. And not only am I learning something different, I'm learning what financial independence means. I'm learning what it means that if my friends say, hey, come here right now, I can go right now. I ain't got to ask the boss. If I want to go in my car and go get some McDonald's, I can go right now. I ain't got to ask the boss. I can literally sit here and give information out to you. And aside from that, the Lord has promised me that as long as I keep doing what I'm doing, the Lord is going to make sure that one thing I won't have to worry about is the devil's biggest tool, and that is money. And I definitely know from this point, I'll never have to slave for the devil again. The Lord has given me information. And with that information, I plan on giving it away to other people for free while they watch me grow and change my life as a peon 21229 zip code living. That's my responsibility. And for that, I don't have to work no more. I can work when I want. The Lord's going to make sure I'm good as long as I keep doing what the Lord tells me to do. And anybody who would like to hear about it, just go ahead and follow me. Like I said, it's a 10-year journey. Hit the bell notification to be notified of every time I put out a video. You can hit the subscribe button. If it's any one of the exchanges that you hear me name earlier, Coinbase, crypto and all, Fidelity, Webull, right here, Stash, you can invest in any of those cryptos. You can even use my link. I'll put the link in the description. They'll give me free stocks, and they give you free stocks for every time you go in and you open up an account. Alrighty, so like I said, y'all, just make sure you go into the link in the description and you make sure you sign up for either Webull. I believe they'll give you, I think 2 or 3 free stocks. It'll go and show you in the description when you go to sign up. Or if you want to, you can do the crypto.com. Or if you want, you can do Coinbase, which is a good exchange as well to buy your crypto and all on. I have a portfolio with them. Or you can do Fidelity. I have a portfolio with them with a lot of penny stocks there too. OTC stocks, at least 50 assets there. So I'm going to go into my Fidelity real quick, and then I'm going to close out the video because this video is more than an hour. Inside my Fidelity, as you can see here, I have there, that's the figure. Pretty good for penny stocks, very good for penny stocks, because like I said, all these stocks are under $1 mostly. As you can see, that's my month to date. I literally came in the month, dropped as low as 568.65. And as you can see, it's gone up to 729. 568 has gone to 729. That's less than 20 days. All right, that's less than 28. So obviously, we've already made our pivot, our low point being at 568. I'm gonna go over here to this 1 year. Now, mind you, these pennies, so the growth on these is amazing. But anyway, you can see it's coming into the year. I came from about $1,200 all the way as low as $306, y'all. That's the loss that I took. More than a 70% loss to build it back up to about 1,000, right? To bring it up for it all the way to fall back down to where it's at now, 741, right? So totally speaking, I'm going to go in and show you what I got total. Because me buying in at that low point really saved the shit out of my portfolio. As you can see here, I'm only down 17%. I'm up 17% month to date. Year to date, I'm up 39%. Okay? So here we go. This is penny stocks, yo. You don't need me to tell you. If one of these stocks add a 0, then my $100 just changed to $1,000. Period. So here we go. And that's even if it did it overnight. And that's what happens with these damn stocks. Like literally, you can see my growth on these stocks. 89% on DRCR. Now, I went on DRCR, and I've been cost-based averaging with DRCR to try to get them up because I had them down to like $10, $20 or some shit. to get them up to where I got them at now. And I start building them while they were number one. So technically speaking, they're more than 100%. So that means that $100 changed to $200. Just like that, less than a month. Well, that's on one play. HUD, you see, 62%. This has climbed up 62% in less than a month. That means if I give you $100, you owe me $62 in less than a month. NLST, same thing, 54.34% up. That means I give you $100, you owe me $154.34. Same thing, WNFT, up 31%. Now, all this is less than 20 days. I say a month, less than 20 days. The pivots already happened. This is what I've been putting out. I put out at least 2 videos, maybe even 3 videos discussing that the pivots already happened. Here's the proof. This is penny stocks, y'all. So you can see my total. I'm going to go ahead and skip past it all, and I'm going to show you my total. Then I'm going to count up the amount of penny stock assets that I have. Now, it's one thing to invest in large cap, mid caps, and all that, stash and all, but you don't need me to tell you penny stocks is something totally different. I mean, one play, look, XXSOOF, I lost $159 because that was an international play. I had to pay $50 every time I even buy a load of stocks with them. I'm going to get that $159 back on this rally. Go to another, $111 on Bill. They're at a negative, they're at 55%. But you don't need me to tell you, I got stocks that have jumped up 100% in less than 20 days. These are penny stocks we're talking about. You're dealing with stocks that are not even 1 penny. Look, this stock is 1/100th of a penny that I'm talking about. It's 0.0006. There's no such thing as it being any more zeros. Notice on my stock list, there's no stock with more than 3 zeros in front of it. That means that the absolute lowest that the stock could even be part of a traded stock exchange and get its pink slips and OTC certification and cleared and all, it's at its lowest point. The absolute lowest one I have on here is healthier choice management, which is healthcare. All right, 0.0002. So if that month I just go to 2 cents, that means that $100 just went to $10,000. If that happened overnight, then that $100 went to $10,000 literally overnight. If it happens over 10 years, it went to $100,000. Every last holding that I have, every asset in here, I'll count them up in my penny stock portfolio, I'm holding for 10 years. Here we go. I'm going to eat off of it too, maybe after the 3rd, 4th year, but I'm holding for 10 years. And here we go. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 per page. There's another 15. That's 30. Oh, had to catch up. 1 second. Go back again. Let's just say 40. About 40 assets. Because it refreshed on me. I'll count them over. Here you go. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. 2, 4, 6. Shit, did it again. 8. So 8, 16 times 3 plus 8. So about, let's just say 45, y'all. All right, about 45. 45. All right. So, and as you can see, I'm going to go over the price on each one of these assets. None of these, just look at the price on each one of these assets. All it has to do is add a 0. And again, the 100 goes to 1,000. Just adding a 0. And they're all 2 zeros off of 1 cent. This one's 34 cents. My more expensive one, $1.92, $1.77. That's what it's gone. That's why I've gone 100%. The stock just last month was worth 60, 80 cents. Now it's worth $1.90 or something. And 1 month has gone up, it's doubled in 1 month. If I had $100 in there, that would have went to 200. Check this out. 6 cents, 72 cents, 0.0001 cents, $1.14, 0.0178, 0.009, 0.04, 1.3, 0.007, 0.20, 0.002, 0.0082, 0.07, 0.005, 0.0006, 1.5, 0.07, 0.03, 58, $5, $1.28, 0.0003, 0.67, 0.0002, 0.003, 0.0005, 0.015, 0.06. As you can see, most of these stocks are under 1 penny. Half of these stocks, if they just went to 1 penny, I'll be a changed man. So you get the idea of what goes on in a penny stock market. And just to show you my total invested, be specific, as you can see there's the 741 plus that 950. I'm at about total invested 2,000. That's just in penny stocks alone. If any one of those stocks turn into a zero, I could easily, if this whole portfolio turned into just one zero, that 2 would just go to 20. If it happened in 1 year, the 2 goes to 20. If just maybe 5 of these motherfuckers just did 2 zeros, let's say went from 0.001 cents to 0.1, which is 1 penny, this could easily turn from 2 to, 200. 2 to 20, and then 20 to 200. And that's if it happened overnight. That's not even if it happened over 10 years consecutively. I don't expect consecutive growth out of these penny stocks. I expect that some of these penny stocks are not going to make it through the hard run. Through the rough. But I suspect more than 80% of these penny stocks are going to be stocks or companies that you'll know that are mega cap companies, or even maybe mid to low cap companies, but that did make it through the New York Stock Exchange. And these companies have a future and will get to $50, $100, thousands of dollars. And I just so happened to bought the company when it was at 1 cent. Like literally. YawLL, for example, I'll bet you my life all their contracts is with the military. I'm looking at a company that, for YawLL, for example, YawLL is 7 cents a share. These guys come into the stock exchange, pink slip, certified, doing military government contracts, not just for America, but I believe all around the world. And they're dealing with light, which is the basis of everything in our reality. It's all light. It's all trickery of light. These guys are mastering on another level, almost like magic, trickeries of light to find applications to apply to just about anything, from killing a motherfucker down to your robot working properly. Like literally, that's what these guys are doing. I'm getting them at 7 cents. If this company just went to $7, I'm going to drop 1 zero and then 2 zeros. My $100 just went to from 100 to 1,000 to 10,000. If it does that over a year, over 10 years, and it goes to $7 completely over the 10-year time, I'll do the calculations if you like, but I'll show you how that $100 changed into $100,000 off of one asset that I only put $100 in. One asset, when I'm looking at 50 assets, and out of 50, I'm expecting at least 30 to make it to at least $50 per share. I'm expecting at least 30 of these companies to be household name brands in another 15 maybe years, 10 years, 15 years. They'll be like a Microsoft. Like literally, you'll hear, here's my prediction. I'm going to go ahead and say it right here. IQST, right there. So you're looking at it. These guys right now, they're not even at the top of my list. They're way down on my list. I'm suffering what? I'm suffering a 39% loss on IQST. I bet you IQST does better than the previous company I just talked about, as far as share-wise and time-wise and growth-wise. But yet, I'm at a 39% loss. All I got to do is hit them like once or twice for like a good $20, and that 39% loss will change to, let's see, because I only got 30 invested in them. So if I hit them with 30, I'll change that 30%, that whatever that loss was, let's say 30%, drop right down to 15% with no growth. So I'm waiting. I've been waiting to hit low points, but I kind of got screwed up because the market started moving so fast before I had a chance to catch all my low points. And so now I can't go in and keep hitting anything above IQST. I'm not going to hit anything above 30% loss right now. If it's not above 30% loss, I'm not touching it because, it's a volatile market. And then aside from that, I don't want to be buying, or suffering if I was to strike and not strike low enough. So I want to make sure I strike anything that could be 30% loss or more. And I want to strike that as soon as possible, like within the next couple of weeks, which means I got to drive money real fast. So, and that way I can, get a really good foot in a good position and then just ride the wave. Not only am I making outlandish predictions, but the other prediction that I haven't added is that my expectations for these portfolios is for me to literally stop. I'm not going to be building this shit for 10 years. If you listen to what I'm saying, I'm telling you that I'm going to build for the first 3 years and I'm going to stop. I'm going to build no more than 3 years at perfect timing and I'm stopping. I don't have no other choice but to stop because if I keep cost-based averaging it, all I'm doing is sending my rate per share up. And overall, over time, that just means that I got to put that zero behind a higher number. I understand that first. So if I can get that shit at 3 cents, and I screwed up and let it get to 5 cents before I want to go load up on it, then that means I need a 50 cents instead of a 5 cents to get that zero. When I could have needed a 30 cents to get that zero if I would have struck when I was supposed to strike. So not only do I want to get it at a low point, but I want to get it at its absolute lowest point. And then for 3 years, bust my butt, invest, and after that, maybe on the 5th year, I can literally eat from it if I want. Literally come in, take out $10,000 or something, sit back on a year, maybe hustle that year, sit for another 3 years or something if I want, let it grow, and then literally be wealthy from that point. Like never have to work again. That's my expectations. And y'all, I ain't gonna go over no more portfolios because I'm been doing this video now for 1 hour and 15 minutes, and I'm tired. And I told my peoples I'd be back a lot earlier. I took a little longer, but it's done, y'all. So there it is. You see all my assets in Fidelity. You see my worth and my net worth in Fidelity. You see my assets and my stash. You see my net worth and my stash. The only 3 we got left now is my Webull, Crypto.com, and my Coinbase, which is all crypto assets. My Webull is going to be nothing but a crypto portfolio. I literally switched it around from a lot of the mining plays that I had, which turned out to be good plays, but I switched them out and went straight crypto over there. And of course, Coinbase and Crypto.com, you can't do nothing but buy crypto. And y'all, if y'all think this is bullish, remember, I said 100x my crypto, but I only plan on 10xing my stocks. I'm showing you how to 100x stocks, but my cushion is the 10x. I only promise you 10x on the stocks, but I'm promising you 100x on that crypto. So I ain't even talk about my crypto. Not one of these videos have I talked about my crypto specifically yet. So there you have it, y'all. All we talking about is my 10x stuff. We'll get to my 100x stuff in just a little bit. I'm sure you'll be proud of your boy.